Hey, all right, this is an important video, and I should have done this a while back, and I don't know. I don't know why I didn't, so bear with me here. I'm gonna title this Worst Case Scenarios, and I'm gonna title this, Worst Case Scenarios. I watched a video I did a while back speaking about nationalism's future problems. And it just got me to thinking. I guess I hadn't gone into detail on how nationalism will not avert a pandemic. Nationalism really is an outdated idea. It's like much of what American conservatives think. It's outdated stuff. And let's get to it. Let's say worst case scenario, coronavirus goes into Africa or Nepal or one of these countries. Africa's a continent, it's countries in Africa, but just one of these really, really, really poor areas where they don't even have basic health care, much less labs and proper scientific equipment. They don't have that. How will nationalism help with that? And see, it's not even like it used to be where you had presidents that would at least work with Africa. One of Trump's first things was to cut ties with Africa, period. That's one of the first things he did. So once again, how does nationalism solve that problem? We won't even know. That's the worst part. Even if you didn't like Africa, you say, fuck Africans, you would still have some sort of diplomatic stuff with them. You still work with them. You still put doctors in their country like Obama did. But Trump's not going to do that. You know it and I know it. How will nationalism help if you have major climate change? I spoke on that in other videos. How will nationalism help with this? I think Trump's whole idea is whatever happens, separate themselves from the rest of the world. But that's not going to work. I think that's fairy tale stuff. They call liberals, we believe in fairy tales, but that's fairy tale stuff, man. I'm not even sure a lot of people in America want that, to tire us out for the rest of the world, if they knew what that meant. I look around me, most of this stuff is probably not made in America, man. Most of this stuff is not made in America. I know it and you know it. That's just reality. Whether we like it or not, that's not going to change. It's not going to change. It's insanity. This the idea that Trump is pushing. It's simplistic. It's this idea that America's great, the world is great, nothing's going on, nothing's wrong in the rest of the world. That everything's great in America. The water's clean, the water's pure. You have your best year. I mean, it's overly simplistic stuff. It's like that guy said about people in West Virginia that at least Trump would lie to the people, whereas Hillary didn't. So you're proud. You're proud of someone that lied to you. What does that say about you? I've heard that from a couple conservatives that Trump would lie to them. They were, that bothers me. So you don't have a problem being lied to? That's a moral issue. You have a moral problem. You have a moral failing, because a part of being a human, a part of dealing with reality is having to deal with the tough times. And I guess white folks don't know much about that the way we do, but that's a part of life. Sometimes it takes courage just to play the hands you're dealt. And I think that they spend all this time lecturing us and beating us over the head. Now they need to take their own advice. Anyway, it just hit me. Worst case scenario, if this thing spreads, how is nationalism going to solve that? How is nationalism even going to begin to work together with that? And what's worse is, the danger is what Trump does when he makes these comments and says this stupid shit on Twitter. People lose faith in the American government. People lose faith in the goodwill, the idea of the State Department, the idea of diplomacy. People lose, I think that's probably already happened. And so if something happened, it would be hard to even get close to close cooperation and partnership with other nations. That's the danger of nationalism.